Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Paul Hutchings, and you are on The Good Parts with Paul Hutchings, a daily social media show Monday through Friday, where I go live doing my very best to share at least one good part from my life and or business that hopefully carries with it a great lesson that you too can use in your life to shine a little brighter, create more happiness and joy, and have it more success and prosperity. That's the goal with the show. So thanks for tuning in. If you're watching live, let me know who you are. I can display your comments on the screen. And if you're tuning into the replay, let me know down below also where you're tuning in from. I really want to get to know everyone as best I can. And I will tell you the title of today's episode is the one thing everyone, even you, is an expert in, that also most people don't realize they're experts in. So I want to share this thought with you in the episode, today's episode. But before I do share that thought, I did want to share with you one good phrase that I picked up this morning on our Grow Rich Mastermind. We have this friend, Booker Williams. I call him Booker the Freedom Cooker. He's been dialing into our morning call, our morning mastermind for a long time. And he has such great energy. One of the things that he's done many times over the years is he'll come on the line and he'll say, "Let's get ready to rumble," and just like fill the line with so much enthusiasm and energy. It's always so appreciated when he does that. Have you guys noticed the energy's infectious? Like if someone's enthusiastic and excited and you get around that person, you kind of start to be enthusiastic and excited also. So that's what Booker does for me. Hey, Bill Fever, thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate you. But today I was hosting the call, and sometimes when I start the call, I will close my eyes and just start to speak whatever is bubbling up from my heart before we get into the reading. And so today was one of those days, and one of the comments that I've made and I've noticed other people made when we do this is we refer to it as rambling. So I said, well, now that I'm done rambling, I said, sorry, or sorry for the ramble or whatever. Bill Moist, another great friend, he says, never apologize when you're in service. So I strive to remember that, even though I sometimes still find myself saying, sorry for rambling. But anyway, I mentioned that term ramble, and Mama Elizabeth, who's another great friend of mine, who's also a great contributor to our morning call, she comes out on the call and she says, "Let's get ready to ramble." And I thought that was such a great phrase. I wanted to pass it along. And then Tim Curley later on in the call talked about how oftentimes it's when we are rambling, where the gold is found, where we're just speaking from the heart and being genuine and allowing whatever's bubbling up to kind of come on through the line. Kevin Coe says, yes, perfect. Yeah, let's get ready to ramble. Isn't that so good, Kevin? So I wanted to pass that along, especially during this Good Parts Challenge. Before I share the one thing we're all an expert in, I do want to mention the challenge. So I mentioned, the good parts. Like I'm going live once a day, just trying to find one good thing and pass it along. And it's been so cool to see other people take part in this challenge. And I want to highlight Danny Youngers. He's one person that's doing the challenge. And I've been watching some of his lives. And he does such a great job of just like turning on the phone and smiling into the camera and speaking from his heart. You could say rambling, just speaking from his heart. And when I watch those videos, I always get this feeling of, man, he's so genuine. Like this is just really who he is. And I find myself attracted to that, to someone just being who they are. And that relates to what I'm going to talk about today. The one thing we're all an expert in. So I guess I'll just get to the point. The one thing we're all an expert in. Can you guys guess what it is? Post in the chat if you can think of the one thing everyone is an expert in. Because I've noticed that one of the things that hold people back, sometimes, Bill says, I thought the same, Paul. I feel Danny is a new friend. I feel the same too. Thanks for that, Bill. One of the things that sometimes holds people back, when they're wondering if they should make a decision to go live on their news feed, especially when someone's getting started in a home-based business, which is where all of my professional experiences in. Even if you're not building a business, I still think there's great value in choosing to go live every day and sharing one good thing. One of the things that Danny Younger said in his live was that we all have so much knowledge that we're not sharing. And how cool would it be to go into your news feed and see posts from people that you know where they were sharing something of value that helped them in their life in an honest and sincere way. So that not only could you get the value, but you could get to know your friends better. You could stay better in the loop with what was going on with them versus sometimes what I see, and I don't want to be critical. Um, that being said, sometimes when I go to my news feed, I see a bunch of the same stuff over and over and over and over again, because I have a lot of friends that are building home businesses, and that's great. Shout out to all of my friends who are building home businesses. But when I go to my news feed and I see all the same stuff, and there's no there's not they are not injected into the equation. I guess we'll say that. They're posting stuff from other people, or they're posting kind of like repetitive ideas. And nothing wrong with repetition. I think repetition is great, especially if you're sharing an idea that is true. I think those ideas should be repeated like the sun. I love that metaphor. The sun shines every day. We don't get tired of it. It just keeps shining. And I think good ideas are like that. So I do like good ideas. But I guess what I'm trying to say is what's missing is a sense of genuineness and authenticity where I want more of what I saw in Danny Younger's live, where people are just showing up and being who they are. Danny, he passed the test in his daily career. Well, he's a truck driver, and he passed I think it was a hazmat test. And he just told the story about that and how genuinely excited he was to pass that test. And I was so excited for him. I'm like, way to go. That's great. And he's just being him. I resonate with that so much, genuineness. And so that leads me to, Bill Fever says themselves as the guest to the answer to the question, what's the one thing we all are experts in? Oh, that is close, Bill. That might be it. Gio says, hey, what's up, Gio? Shout out to you for doing the Good Parts Challenge too. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. The one thing we're all experts in is our own lives. Aren't we all experts in our own lives? Like Bill Fever said, you're an expert in yourself. You're an expert in what's happening, your family, your relationships, your work life, the connections that you're having on a daily basis. You are the ultimate authority. I'll take it a step. You're not just credible there. You're the ultimate authority on what's going on in your life. And so I notice sometimes people, one thing that holds them back, as I was saying earlier, is they're like, well, I don't really have anything to talk about. I'm not an expert in health or home business or this or that. I just got started. I don't have anything to talk about. I want to say you are the ultimate authority in your own life. And if you will be open maybe to taking this Good Parts Challenge, what's great about this Good Parts Challenge for me, and I think for a lot of people, is it frees you from the box of what you think you have to be or what you think you have to say to be able to press live and say something that might benefit someone's life. Because one of the things that I've noticed in my journey is when I was in the corporate world working in a cubicle, one of the things I hated so much about it, Nick Ramone, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Arnita, good morning. Great to see you. Mark, hey, what's up, man? Thank you so much. That's great advice. One of the things that I did not like was this feeling that I was inside a box. And there were so many chains around my thoughts, my words, my actions, and I was so limited in what I could do. And I didn't like that. So I got into the home business profession because I wanted to be free. I wanted to be free. So I got into the home business profession, and I struggled for a while, for sure. I think that's normal. I started learning a little bit about marketing and lead generation, and I started learning about target marketing, and that's good. Like target marketing works, and that's just where like you create a piece of content or an ad that's specific to a group of people. So you might say, my target market is affiliate marketers, or my target market is network marketers, or my target market is people who want to lose weight. That's my target market. And that's what I was taught, to pick a market, hone your message into that market, speak to that market. And that does work. And I wouldn't be the first one making the case for the value of picking a target market. Okay. But what I want to do today a little bit is make the case against it, because nobody does that. Nobody makes a case. I don't just want to be contrarian. I have some things I've been thinking about in relation to that. The thing that I experienced was, after a while, I started to feel like I was in that box again. That box that I was in when I was in the corporate world, where, who's Paul going to be today? Well, he has to be in this little box because he's picked a target market, and he can only speak to those people, and he can only say those things, target market. And it started to feel, constrictive to me. And I did not love that feeling of feeling constricted. And so I've been challenging the idea in my own mind. Nick says, "Oh my gosh, Paul, that hit a nerve because I remember feeling hopeless with no light in my horizon. I never thought I would get out." Not a good feeling, right? Not a good feeling. So I've been challenging this idea of picking a target market and only being, the hero to that target market. I've been challenging that idea, and I want to share a few of my thoughts, and you guys can tell me if I'm way off base on this, or if I'm saying some things that might be of value for your consideration. So picking a target market, of course, we all know it's a good. It's good because you've got a group of people, what they want, they're hungry for something, and then you can speak to that. I already mentioned one of the problems is after a while, you start to feel like a slave. Like you can only say certain things. So that's not a good feeling. But the other challenges that I've noticed is that when people get started at building a home-based business, growing residual income, and you're like, pick a target market, I already mentioned they're like, well, I'm not an expert in this market. So what do? I don't know if I should. I don't know, like, am I good enough? Like, how am I gonna position myself as an expert? So that's a challenge with the target market. But the other challenge with the target market, speaking about social media, and that's important because there are distinctions to be made everywhere, right? Right now, where I'm at in my business, for me, target marketing is a good thing if I'm spending money on an ad. I don't want to not know who I'm spending money to show my message to. So for me, target marketing is good there. For lead generation, where I'm spending money, or maybe I'm doing like a content creation campaign where I really want to like generate some specific leads, and I've got a specific funnel. Yeah, like target marketing has its place there. But what about on social media? Okay, so I want to talk about this for a second, because on social media, we have all different kinds of people that we're friends with, that we're connected with, and people are interested in different things. There's some podcasts that I follow that go from one podcast talking about artificial intelligence to the next podcast interviewing a guy who lived in the Amazon jungle for 17 years. Like, what's the target market there? It's like so random, the things that they're talking about. But yet this is one of the most successful podcasts in the world. I can think of actually several of the most successful podcasts in the world that are not like so niche specific that they never vary from the interviews they do and the things they talk about. So I asked myself, why am I attracted to these podcast episodes? Like, they're not talking about growing a residual income. They're not talking about personal development per se. They're not talking about playing the guitar. They're not talking about, things that I might be, generally interested in. Why am I attracted to them? And partly I think it's curiosity, it's fascination, it's different things being talked about that captures my attention. So I guess the point that I'm getting to is, can you grow an audience and be influential in a good way, impact people's lives in a good way, monetize what you're doing, right? These podcasts, they make a lot of money, and not be target market focused. This is what you would call a counter example, which is really good for questioning dogmatic thinking. I came up with a phrase a while back that said, questions are the keys that unlock the door, that unlock the chains of thought tyrants. What's a thought tyrant? A thought tyrant is something an authority said, everyone kind of believes it, and then you accept it, and then you never question it. That's a thought tyrant, because it's like enslaving your mind and you can't do anything different. So the way that we break those chains is we ask questions like, are there examples of people who are successful who are not target market focused? And the answer that I'm getting for myself is yes, there are examples of that. And so back to, going live on social media, can you just pick a good random part from your life and talk about it? And will people find value in that, as long as that's your intention? Like, you want to find something good, be authentic, try to, deliver it in a way where someone would get value from it. And you did that consistently. Would that reach people? Would people resonate with that? And would you reach people that you otherwise would not have reached? If I got on my Facebook wall every day and I just talked about network marketing for 5 days a week, yeah, I'm going to reach people in network marketing, but I'm not going to reach anyone who's not in network marketing, because they're not interested in that. But if I, get on a live Monday and I talk about this new meal order plan that I've been testing out, where I'm having done for you meals shipped to me in the mail, so that I don't have to cook and prepare, but they're super healthy and they've got all the calories and the protein and everything all mapped out. So it comes to me in the mail. I get it out of the fridge. I put it in the microwave, and 2 minutes later, I've got this delicious, well-flavored, well-seasoned meal. And I'm like, yeah, I love this. If I get on a live and I talk about that as one of the good parts from my life, and like, am I going to reach people who I might not have reached with that drone on day in, same thing, same thing over and over? So I guess all of this to say that one of the good parts from my life is the ability to question, the things that have been pounded into my head, and say to myself, is this really true? Is this really the only way? Is there another way for me to move forward? And I'm kind of coming to, you guys can let me know what you think about this. What's up, Cater? Good to see you, brother. Superstar Cater Cormier. Yeah, the power of social media. Absolutely. So yeah, question things and be okay to depart from the dogma of what everyone says you have to do to be successful. And then, just the last little piece of inspiration for me on inviting people to do this Good Parts Challenge is, I really do think that that we can reach people with a good message in an authentic way, simply by just showing up every day and being ourselves and doing our best to serve people and pass along something good. I know that there needs to be more good in the world. There needs to be more light in the world. That's how I feel about it, especially on social media. So that's one of the intentions behind this Good Parts Challenge is, I'm not just doing this to grow my business. In fact, that's like if there was a list of 10 top important things for me right now, growing my business would probably be at number 10. Not that I'm not open to my business growing, but I'm so thankful to be in a spot where I don't need my business to grow. And so that has me asking questions like, how can I really add value to the world? And in what ways do I really want to add value to the world? And in what ways can I help people and inspire people to add value to the world that can eliminate a lot of these stumbling blocks that sometimes people have when they start producing content. And I think this Good Parts Challenge is a good way. So I want to give you an invitation here. Cater says everything is being decentralized, even our ideas of success. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, everyone's an individual too. That's the other thing. Like, there's a quote that I heard one time that I like that says, advice is given generally, but applied specifically. And what that means to me is, I can be here on a platform and I can be like, however many people tune into this today, I don't know. Let's imagine there are 1,000 people on this. Think big, right? Let's imagine there are 1,000 people on this live, and I can give a piece of advice, and I could say, "This is the way to do it, everybody." But there's 1,000 different people listening to this live. Each of those people has different interests, has different skill sets, has different experience, has different goals, has different. So is my one piece of general advice going to apply to every single one every single time? Probably not. So, be okay with not having to be right all the time, for sure. Like, leave the space for the wonder, leave the space for the mystery, leave the space for people to find their own way. And as leaders, if we're, and I think we're all leaders, we lead ourselves. Number one, that's number one. And if we can, we inspire people with our example, number two. And then, we lead other people. I think we really want to strive to avoid being dogmatic, and leave space for people to experience their own journey and try things their own way, and maybe find another way. So we'll see how this Good Parts Challenge turns out. It's an experiment. My friend Amy Starr Allen says all marketing is an experiment. Yeah, I guess this is marketing, but I don't really look at it as marketing. I look at it as, how can I shine some light in the world? How can I encourage other people to shine light in the world? And the other thing too, this is one other thing about target marketing and people getting started in an online business, for example, because that's my experience, right? One thing that I've noticed that holds people back is, you've got friends and family or whatever, people you're connected to, social connections that you really don't want to give the impression that you're just trying to get $1 from that relationship. And, new people, they sense this intuitively. And people have been around a while. We say things like, hey, don't be scared of criticism. Don't worry about what they say. You just gotta do it, right? and that's right in some cases, for sure. But I think the new people intuitively probably sense some real truth about the situation. And the real truth is, we don't want to just be someone who's just like trying to get money from people. We don't want relationships to turn into that. And so in a one-on-one conversation, if you can feel like you are adding real value to someone's life and that there's going to be a relationship, whether they're a fit for whatever it is you're selling or not, you come away from that interaction, whether you get a commission or not, and you feel good about yourself because you've nourished a relationship. So transfer that to social media video, right? So like, hey, go live on social media and talk about what? Talk about your online business every day. Talk about how much money you're making every day. Isn't that going to be great? And then all of the social connections that people have, they're like, oh, they're just going to see me talking about my online business every day. And the potential perception is that all I care about is getting money from my social connections, right? Not saying that's bad. I'm just, having some thought experiments here. But if you were to, yourself, encourage others to go live and just try to help people in the best way you could, just try to share something valuable in the best way you could for the sake of adding value and being helpful and shining light and teaching things that have really helped you in your life and business, what perception would that create? Like, there's no possible way that could be perceived as, hey, Paul's just trying to get my money. Like, no, because the intention is good. The intention is, I just want to help in the best way I can. I just want to shine light in the best way I can. If I can help you, great. If I can bring a smile to your face, great. And then you can, drop calls to action in at the end and stuff, so on and so forth. So I'm really rambling. Let's get ready to ramble, right? Let's get ready to ramble. Keisha, good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. But yeah, so I'll close out with a challenge. So the challenge is, and this is for people who you don't already have something that you're building, like an audience that you're building, an idea, a vision, a platform, right? This is for all those people who want to do good in the world, want to develop their speaking abilities, want to serve people, want to grow an audience, want to, as an ancillary effect of growing your audience and helping people, also, yes, generate more business. It's for those people who don't know what to talk about, don't have a theme, don't have a target market, don't have all the I's, the I's dotted and the T's crossed and the blanks filled in. And because they don't have all the answers to those questions, they're like, I can't go live. I can't do it. I can't start. The Good Parts Challenge is for those people. And the Good Parts Challenge is simply where once a day or once a week, you choose, you go live. You've got The Good Parts by Keisha LaShawn, The Good Parts by Cater Cormier, The Good Parts by Mark Polycarp. You put your name. Now the name's taken out of the way. What are you going to talk about? One good part from your life, one good part from your business, one good thing you read in a book, one good idea, one good something. You talk about that just with the intention of passing along some goodwill. Include a call to action. Don't include a call to action. That's the Good Parts Challenge. So if you want to take this challenge with me and several others who have gotten started doing this, just do it. Just do it. Go live, share a good part, hashtag Good Parts Challenge. You can search what other people are talking about. And I really think this is a way where we can inspire a lot of people to develop speaking skills. We can inspire a lot of news feeds with more authenticity, with more genuineness. We can get to know people a lot better. Like, seriously, guys, how well do you get to know someone when you look at their Facebook wall and there's not one video of them? Like, you can't get to, it's really hard. It's really hard. So, my experience with building a business from home is, trust and rapport is really, it's everything. It's like 80-90% of the game. So if you can get in a space where your voice and your face is being heard, people will get to know, like, and trust you, so that's a challenge. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to stop talking. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Let me know down below. Mark says, I believe this is going to take off. I hope so. I mean, yeah, I think it would be good. I think it's a good thing for people. Let me know if I'm preaching false doctrine when I said the case against target marketing, right? I don't know how many of you guys have thought about that before. But I think there's some merit there for social media specifically. Vary your content a little bit, make it a little more interesting, not talk about the same thing every single day, all throughout the week. So anyway, yeah, if you've got value from this content, enjoyed this experience, feel free to subscribe to me on social media. I'm going to be live every day, right around 11 Eastern, Monday through Friday. And/or if you want to get these sent out via email so you don't miss them on social media, just go to growrichmastermind.com. You can subscribe to my email list and I'll send these out via email. And with that, I love you. I believe in you. I know that you've got greatness within you. I think that you're meant to do amazing things. I think that you're here on this planet for a reason and a purpose. There's something you're here to do. And I think you've got better things waiting for you in your future. And why do I think all those things about you? Maybe I don't even know you. Well, because I think all those things about me too. And I think we as people, we're connected. I think we're all a part of an infinite whole, and we have divine essence within us. And if that's true, again, just a belief of mine, if that's true, then I think all those other things I said are true. You know, there's something we're supposed to do. If the world's going to get better, we have to get better. And we can, and we can, and we can. So, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend. If I can help you in any way, let me know. If there's some kind of specific question or content you want me to create, let me know. I don't know everything, but I do know some things, and I have a pretty cool network, so I can reach out to people and bring people on if you've got something you need some help with. So, all right, guys, take care. Thanks again for tuning in. Nick says, have a wonderful weekend. You have a wonderful weekend too, my friend. All right.